And I know this is in the earliest years of the YouTube and viral videos and all that stuff.
Like 07 or so.
But I kind of no, it was earlier than that. I mean, I
06
was
maybe.
yeah, like early, like Chocolate Rain. Yeah,
Well,
so I kind of missed it. So I never got into I was like the end of Z World, like that was my go-to.
hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
55. Yeah, Andrew knows
Schmiggity
that one.
what?
Yeah.
Any of those.
You
Boy,
don't know
man,
them?
My
say it
IQ
again.
55. Girlfriend
You
say
don't
55.
know you don't know End of Z World? What the fuck?
I don't think so.
Oh man. Oh man. E-Bombs World?
I know E-Bombs World, but I don't remember that one.
Playing all those games.
Okay, so
Here's the Earth.
here's the
Chilling.
earth chilling.
Chocolate Rain, 2011.
Yeah, Chocolate
No.
Rain is not as old as you guys think it is.
No, 2007. Here we go.
Yeah,
I'm looking
yeah.
at it now.
I
It
knew
was
that.
released in 2007.
I could have
Yeah.
swore it was like '09,
No
but
way.
No, it's
Not when I was in
2007.
college. That was definitely a high
It was
school movie.
definitely, yeah, it was an early freshman year of college type of a thing for me. Yeah, it was 2007. Interesting.
So if we do start recording, because now we're at 2 after the half hour.
I did.
Just oh, you did.
Yeah.
All right.
Hi.
Okay.
Well then, I was going to say when Nick joins, don't say anything because we'll make it like seem because last time I kind of I was like all excited because whatever it was Scotty John. But we're not going to do that anymore. We're just going to have him seamlessly transition. We'll say hello, Nicholas. How's that sound,
Sounds good.
Scott?
That sounds good.
All right, Scott, you good?
I'm good. I'm ready.
Drew, you good? All right, well let's get going here. Welcome to another episode of Ruthless Obsession. I'm your host Kevin.
And I'm Scott.
Today, and we're gonna do a little NFL frenzy today. A
Ooh.
lot of unimportant, you know, nothing stories that we're gonna make something because
You know
there's
what?
nothing else to talk about in the sports world right now. Even though there probably is, and we might just be a little short sighted.
You know what this
Because,
is, Kev?
don't tell me.
This is the calm before the storm. This is the calm because here in the next few weeks, the cap's going to be decided, free agency is going to kick off. I mean, all the transactions are going to start happening. We're getting
Oh,
close to draft. The combine starting soon. Like this is just
oh,
this is the calm before the culmination of like all the pent up like okay, it's ready to go off season time. We're not just there yet, but we're almost there. So yeah, we're gonna be like let's go in a little frenzy. Let's like make some things that might not be a big deal. But then we all know here in the next few weeks
there will be big deals.
there will be huge deals,
It's
game
funny.
changing, franchise changing deals.
It's funny you say that because I was feeling rather calm, so it makes a lot of sense. So that's good.
Yeah.
All right. Then let's start with the one that I care least about, which is JJ Watt going to the Cardinals. I mean, we already talked multiple times about do we even want JJ Watt for our teams? Obviously, he can play still; he's not washed. But going to the Cardinals, man, I just I don't have much to say at all about the Cardinals. They didn't make the playoffs last year. I don't even know that they were that close. Of course, they've got some good, exciting young offensive weapons, and I think they even have a good couple defensive players too. But man, if I'm JJ, I was looking to go to a contender, that playoff team that can win now with Rodgers or even in Buffalo or the Cardinals in one of the toughest divisions in football with the Rams and 49ers who had a down year last year. Yeah, but they had just come off of Super Bowl appearance the year before.
And
I
the
mean,
Seahawks with Russell Wilson.
yeah, I don't. What are you thinking, JJ?
There's so many reasons why I hate this move. Okay, like clearly the money had to have been the only factor, but it sounds like he might have turned down more money for other plays. I don't know for sure what those reports are, but man, you put that guy in the Buffalo Bills, immediate Super Bowl next year, right? Or like
Mm.
he wouldn't do it, but like it wouldn't be because of him they get there, but because the team's already good. You have a nice defensive end who's gonna you know they're definitely gonna scheme the offense around him, whether or not he can actually like warrant it or not. At least initially they're gonna do it. So like the Bills are gonna be a better team with him on it. Same thing with like the Browns. Same thing with the Packers. But to go to the Cardinals, and then what's even worse, what really just grinds my gears, is that is that he had to like they unretired the number 99 so he can wear it. Like
Oh,
how like why retire a number? Why
oh,
why retire a number when, oh, some other player who has played in the NFL for 10 seasons and okay, yeah, he's the Walter Payton Man of the Year one year, but it doesn't mean you unretire a number so he can wear it. Like
oh.
that's ridiculous. Choose a new number. You chose that team. You knew that number was retired. Choose a different number. That's frustrating to me.
I just hope that the family of that oh, I don't even know who it was. Do you know who it is?
I don't. Not
Okay,
off the top of my
that's
head.
honestly,
But I know
you know,
he got their permission to
well, hold on
unretire.
a minute. That's what I was about to say. I only hope that the family of that player, because I do believe that that player is deceased now. He's no longer with us.
Hmm.
Because there was a family's representation. I just hope that they, hearing the news, they reached out to him and said, "Hey, listen, don't worry, this won't be a thing. We know that our father, grandfather, whatever he is, would be fine with it, would be proud of it, and to unretire it." It is such a bad look if he approached them about it, and I he had to have, because if I've got a retired number, if I've got a retired number in my family, you're not saying, "Oh, JJ Watt's here. You know what? Yeah, let's. He's a good enough guy. Let's do it for." No way. Like what? JJ Watt. Who is this guy? I can't stand JJ Watt. I'm so glad he's not on my team. This dude's he's I'm done with this guy.
But don't you know, Kev, he's been such a great person for the community. He's been heralded as one of the
Then
best
retire from
humans of all.
football and just focus on that. If you're so good at that, then go do that. Okay, you don't need to play football anymore. You've done that. If you're so good at being this humanitarian and fundraising and stuff, then go do that. Your time's probably better spent doing that.
Be more impactful, that's for sure,
If
to
that's what we're
humankind.
measuring, if that's why he gets the red carpet rolled out for him and all the world, loving him at every second. If that's why, then that's what he should be doing. Run for office or something. My
Hey man,
gosh.
for a show that doesn't like JJ Watt, we're talking a lot about JJ Watt.
I prefaced it with
We're talking
I
about
mean,
how we don't like him.
we don't like
Let's
him.
just move on. We've beat the dead
No,
horse
no, no, no.
3 times.
Well, it's actually very one thing I do want to bring up, and this is honestly, it's shame on us for not knowing this ahead of time. Who the person that he took the number
It is.
of, right?
I agree with that, guy. Shame on us.
Shame on us. His name is Marshall Goldberg. Okay, he passed away in 2006. I'm just going to read a little bit off. He was a fullback and halfback at the University of Pittsburgh, our alma mater. Okay,
Shame on
he
us.
yeah, shame on us. I feel really bad. He was drafted in 1939 for the Chicago Cardinals. Okay, in the second round, pick number 12. Okay, uh,
He's a Cardinals legacy guy?
yes, he's a Cardinals
Oh,
legacy guy.
man.
Yes,
Back when
okay,
Pitt was winning all their national titles.
right. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Okay, now
Go.
I would love to see some of his stats if I can do this very quickly, but I
For
also
a
don't.
fullback?
He's a halfback fullback combo.
Back then, they were just backs.
So he okay, well, all right. So in his NFL stats, he rushed for 1,644 yards with 11 touchdowns. He caught for 775 yards with 5 touchdowns. But he's a fullback, right? Back in the
All-purpose back.
30s, all purpose, but back in the 30s. Okay, so the stats there, no one thinks about stats from people in the 30s, but his impact to the team was huge.
He was good enough to have his number retired.
Hmm.
Oh, man. Marshall. The Berg.
And so if I'm the family of Marshall Goldberg, I say to hell with JJ Watt. You don't get my number.
Mm.
That's
Mm,
our family's number. That's what But hell, they're probably talking to like the dang grandkids or something about,
mm.
and they're like, oh, I don't even, I
I don't
don't
even
know,
know him anymore. I probably did. He died in 2006. I mean, it wasn't that long ago.
15
But
years ago.
yikes, I'm old. It doesn't
I
feel
know.
like that long ago. Well, all right. Well, they're not calling a 16-year-old and saying, "Hey, I know you don't remember your grandpa. You cool with this?" you
But but the,
know.
but but the end of the day, and this is the big problem that I have, and it's not. I mean, yeah, J.J. Watt for sure is a culprit here, but you don't unretire a number. You retire a number for a reason. You know what I mean? Once it's retired, it stays retired. I don't care who it is. At the very point, the very purpose of retiring a number is so you don't have
I
some
completely agree.
superstar, coming in from some other team that's already established themselves and says, "Oh yeah, I want that number. I'm going to unretire it." You know?
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. What's going to happen once JJ's done? He's not going to become. He's not going to have this Hall of Fame career with the Cardinals to warrant the number being retired for him. What are they going to just
But that's what's
once?
going to be bullshit. Say they do retire. Say they retire it again. Say J.J. Watt's the only player in the Cardinals franchise that's ever allowed to wear that number, and then they put the number back up on the board. People our age are gonna be like, "Oh, I guess they must have retired J.J. Watt's number." Like
No, but they
they're
put
not.
Goldberg next to it.
They're not gonna remember. We don't even know who Marshall Goldberg is, so they're not
I
gonna. No one's.
know. I know that, but they. I imagine. I don't know. This is. I don't think this. I don't know how often this is done, but I imagine they put Goldberg back up there.
I sure
They
hope.
wouldn't put Watt slash Goldberg.
Maybe they will.
They won't. They can't.
Has this ever happened before?
Nick, can you believe, yes or no, can you believe that JJ Watt asked a family to have their whatever number retired from their family member just so he could wear number 99? Can you believe that, yes or no? Okay, so moving on. Can he not hear us?
Nick, you there?
Is he like watching the video? I've never
Nick,
seen Nick make that face before.
Nick, Nick.
Oh no, he's upset about it. Let's see what this goes. So Nick jumped into the Zoom here, and apparently he's having some technical difficulties. It looks like he's frustrated with his computer, and when I threw that to him, he had no idea. So everybody on video, we're going to enjoy watching Nick's face for a little while until Andrew can sort this out. Until
Well,
then,
so the
Scotty and I.
problem is I can't actually sort it out because I would have to exit the Zoom to get the chat up. So maybe you guys could try and chat him or something.
I just sent him a text message.
Okay, that
He
works.
can hear us.
I'm glad all that's on record. Scotty, in the meantime, until Nick joins us, because I'm done talking about JJ. That guy, what a joke.
What a joke.
Is T Sizzle still on that team, by the way?
I don't even know who T Sizzle is.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Who's T
So
Sizzle? Wait, whoa, who's T Sizzle?
Terrell Suggs, you don't know who T Sizzle is?
I would never refer to him as T. His name
Well,
is his name is Terrell Suggs. You don't shorten that. He's one of the greatest linebackers of all time. You don't just say T Sizzle. What the
okay,
heck?
number one, huge. Not sure about that with your greatest of all time. Second, that's his nickname. I didn't do that. That's not. I didn't create that. That's his nickname.
Oh, it is T Sizzle. Holy shit.
What the hell is the matter with you? You coming at me like that?
Well, I don't. I respect people by calling them their real names when they're that good. T
He
Sizzle.
probably has a branded all over the place. He probably is wearing masks and hats and stuff with T Sizzle on it. Little T with little skillet laying on top. Anyway,
Hmm.
so I'm pivoting
Okay.
now. Transition. This is how you
Yeah.
transition.
Yeah.
So today, yesterday, a couple days ago, the GM for the Jets came out and said the door is open. He basically verbally opened the door for a Sam Darnold trade. So this looks like Sam Darnold. They are going to move in a different direction at quarterback. I don't like again. This is like a non-story because nothing's actually happened yet. But I don't know. Do you have any thoughts on Sam Darnold? I'll give you mine if you don't.
A few thoughts. I don't think that Sam Darnold has gotten a fair shake in the NFL so far. I don't think that it's hard. Well, it's hard to. First off, Adam Gase ruined him, and he even said, "Hey, I didn't do Sam Darnold justice here. Like, he was not in when you have a good young quarterback who's drafted as a rookie, starts as a rookie, you need to have a good system with a good head coach with a good offensive framework around him so he can learn and develop. He did not have that situation in New York, and you know the New York Jets are just in kind of in disarray anyways, and have been for a little while. So I can't say that should they trade Sam Darnold to another team that he can't, excel and do well and succeed somewhere. If I was the Jets and if I was the new head coach of the Jets, I would want to start fresh too. I wouldn't want to, especially with the number 2 overall pick in the draft. It would be okay to ship Darnold off and draft a new quarterback and really start your franchise the way you want it. The only other thing I'd say though is that the number 2 pick of the draft is going to be an extremely valuable pick this year. And so I would definitely want to entertain offers of keeping Darnold and see what you can get with that number 2 pick too. So that's how I feel about that situation. What do you got, Cal?
What is a fair shake to you?
What do you mean fair shake?
Well, understanding that most rookie quarterbacks come in that are at least supposed to be good are drafted by a team that is bad because they wouldn't be in that position otherwise unless there's some kind of trade up situation. So most of the time they're going like Joe Burrow. Is he getting a fair shake right now? I mean,
Yeah,
if
he is, and I would say Joe Burrow is in a different scenario than Darnold because at least the ownership of the team is committed to the coaching staff and the system. You know, Zach Taylor's been kind of evaluating things. He chose Burrow, like, hey, this is going to be my guy. And they're building an offense around him right now, and they didn't really do that because Adam Gase was a really bad head coach, and he didn't do the things he's supposed to do to build around Darnold. Like they just have been a bad team, in a poorly managed team. So no, I don't think that he's gotten a fair shake. I don't think that he's been in that. Even compare him to Baker Mayfield, right? Because Baker Mayfield, they went through coaching turmoil and all that type of stuff, but at least like there was a commitment. They knew that he was the guy, or like they were going to build around him. Like you never got that sense with Darnold.
ownership, you're talking about ownership because I
Hmm.
agree with you. I mean, the
Yes,
Browns ownership and front office, man, it's a front office because that's turned over too. But they did commit to Baker, and whatever head coach that came in was going to have to use Baker.
for Baker, right?
Right.
And they don't have that here in New York.
I don't know. I mean, I hear what you're saying, and I might even agree with you that he didn't get a fair shake. I mean, the Jets are a train wreck right now. But I didn't even really think Darnold was that good in college. Did you watch the USC Ohio State? Of course you did. It was the Fiesta Bowl. I mean, he was terrible, and that
Great.
was right before he got drafted. So it wasn't even like his I don't know early in his career when he was actually putting up good numbers. I mean, Darnold did not impress me whatsoever, and I mean that draft was a stress ball for me. I didn't know who I wanted, but I don't know. I mean, I can't see Donald going anywhere and actually becoming worth a second or third overall pick that he was. I don't see which team that would be. I mean,
I
you can kind of
don't disagree in the argument or the statement that he wouldn't be worth the second overall pick or whatever pick he was. He still could be a good. He has the potential to be a good starting quarterback in the NFL. He's not. I don't think he's ever going to be like the guy to like put your team on your back, go deep in the playoffs. Like he's not going to be that, but he'll be a guy. I'm thinking, and this is sorry for all the Tennessee Titan fans out here, but I could see him being like a Ryan Tannehill situation where he's not like the most impressive guy in the world. He's not gonna win you the Super Bowl, but he's a good quarterback. He deserves to be a starter, and he won't lose you the game. I could see Darnold being like that. I could also see Darnold being a little bit like Andy Dalton too. Like again that same type of a player where he's worthy of being a starter in the NFL, but he's never going to be like the guy to take you to the promised land. That's my prognosis.
Darnold looks like a Lego character. So I'm gonna read to you. So Scotty, we're gonna play a little game. You mentioned Baker,
Hmm.
so I'm gonna read to you a couple quarterbacks, and you tell me if you'd rather have this quarterback or Baker. right?
Today. This very second.
Today, well, for the next 5 years.
All right, and I'm just generic team owner, whatever.
Yeah, 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 well, I'm just
Okay.
gonna, yeah, exactly. Generic team owner, yeah.
Like I have
Yeah,
an
no, I get
average.
you. Don't no, no
Yeah, yeah. All
explanation
right.
needed. No
Yeah, yeah. All right,
explanation.
all right.
Okay, all right. Herbert.
Or Baker.
Yes. Would you want me to say Baker every
No,
time? Because
I
that's all we're
was
comparing it to.
I was asking that question to stall because I'm really trying to. I'm thinking hard on this. I would
Don't
say
think too much about it.
I would probably I would probably go with Herbert.
Okay. I'm not going to be offended. By the way, this is
Okay.
that's not why I'm doing this. I'm not looking to pick a fight. I'm just
And,
generally.
and I would like to say just a little bit why I feel like that's somewhat of a controversial statement.
I got too many to get through. No time for this.
I'll make it real quick. Herbert, I think, did more. He did more this season with less than Baker did, and that's why I say him. Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you. Derek Carr.
Baker Mayfield.
Um,
I don't need to say anything about
for
that.
for the next 5 years. So Matt Ryan,
For the next 5 years, Baker Mayfield.
Garoppolo,
Baker Mayfield.
Kyler Murray,
Baker Mayfield.
Tannehill,
Mm. Baker Mayfield.
Dak,
Dak.
Kirk Cousins,
Baker Mayfield.
Jared Goff,
Huh, Baker Mayfield.
Big Ben.
For the next 5 years, Baker Mayfield, of
Just
course.
play with me here.
All right.
Trubisky,
Baker Mayfield.
Tua,
Baker Mayfield.
Wentz,
Baker Mayfield.
Matt Stafford.
I know it's for 5 years. I'm always going with Stafford.
Brady.
Oh, I'm going with Brady because you know what, 5 years from now might not be the same, but I'm at least gonna get a championship real quick before it's really bad. So
Okay. Now here's the reason I did all that. So the reason I threw all those out to you is because I've for a long time, Colin Cowherd was my guy for sports and information and all that stuff. I bought his book. This was like 6 years ago. I bought his book. I was like into
oh,
Colin.
you were a big Cowherd guy, yeah.
Huge.
I can attest to that.
He moved out to LA and the world changed. He dyed his hair orange. He started getting super like Skip Baylessy and old man takes that he just die willing to die on a hill, no nuance, no nothing. And on top of all of that, he shit on the Browns constantly. And he hates Baker Mayfield. Okay. So on Coward's show, they did the exact same thing I just did with you. Okay. And here's who I'm going to give you. I'm going to make this quick, Drew. Here's who Colin Cowherd said he'd rather have over Baker Mayfield. Okay. And just a brief description as to why. It's not even really a description, just a couple words. Okay. Okay. So here are the people that the Cowherd said he would rather have over Baker for the next 5 years. Lamar Jackson, and said it's not close. Justin Herbert, and he said it's not close. Derek Carr, he said by a mile. Matt Ryan, even knowing that years 4 and 5 would be garbage, he said he would take Garoppolo over Baker. He said Kyler Murray over Baker. He'd rather have Dak over Baker. And the reason for that is because he said Dak seems more like he's more well liked in the locker room. Yeah. Okay, he'd rather have Tannehill and said Tannehill's the most underrated quarterback in the league, which isn't far off, but that is what it is.
Yeah,
Um, he said he'd rather have Kirk Cousins than Baker Mayfield.
that's crazy.
He said it's close, but Kirk's more mature. Yeah, yeah. He said he'd rather have Joe Burrow over Baker, which I'm not going to argue with that. He'd rather have Wentz over Baker because he's bigger, stronger, and a better athlete. He said he'd rather have Stafford and he'd rather have Brady for the same reasons you said, because you might get 2 championships and then he'll be done. The only people he said he'd rather have Baker over was Tua, Goff, Big Ben, and Trubisky. I mean, he didn't touch on some other ones like Josh Allen. They didn't even talk about those. But like the dude just hates Baker, and I'm hereby I'm officially right now cutting ties with Colin Cowherd. He's done. I can't do it anymore. It's
That's
just
huge.
the integrity of his. It's just gone. It's lost to me. It's done. He's
Um, are you gonna burn his book that you have?
I don't even know if I still have it. If I
Ooh.
do, maybe I'll burn like an effigy or something to my you know. So there you go. Okay, we're coming down the stretch here. What happened to Nick, by the way? He's just not. He's gone now. He's out of my Zoom here.
Yeah, he never actually responded, other than having computer issues. So maybe we won't get him back, but happens.
Easy
For the
come, easy
record,
go.
I would take Baker over pretty much all of those quarterbacks. So
So at the risk of being too pro Baker here, because I don't really want. I don't think he's the best quarter. I
That's
have
fine.
I
That's
have, I
fine.
have
That's
my
fine.
but I will say, and I can't remember. I can't quote it was ESPN published an article maybe about a week or so ago, and I wanted to make sure I brought this up during our podcast. But they talked about the best quarterback careers in college football of all time. It was like the top 50 or so. Baker Mayfield, number one.
Number one,
Number one. He
not
was
Tebow.
number not Tebow was like top 5, top 10, but Baker was number one because he had, in their minds, the best college football career.
I mean, it
It was
helps
either
when you're.
one. It was either the best one season of anyone's career or the best career in total. And he was number one.
I mean, it helps when you're playing in a crap conference like the Big 12.
Sure, but they liked his moxie. He had good moxie back then.
Moxie,
he's got
Moxie
that
gets
grit.
you.
He got that
Moxie
grit.
takes you pretty far in college.
It sure does. It actually takes you a lot farther than you probably deserve.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, big yeah. College is all about moxie and grit,
That's
toughness.
right.
Toughness.
Toughness. That's right.
All right, last thing. I just want to, why the hell is it taking so long to get Dak Prescott a deal? I mean,
Mm.
are the Cowboys really? I mean, I'm not the biggest Dak guy, but I know he's good. I know he's better than half of the quarterbacks in the league right now. I don't know if he's worth the most expensive quarterback contract in the NFL, but it was obvious that the team got completely so much worse when Dak was injured. I mean, Zeke wasn't even playing well. Started fumbling. The team, NFL is not built around having a strong run game anymore. I mean, you need a quarterback. The dude's mobile. He's got heart. Oh yeah. So those tangibles.
The intangibles. The
You know,
intangibles.
well, it's
He's got the
tangible,
intangibles.
intangible. It's like a twofer because he has a heart.
He does have a heart.
So I don't know. I don't know what the hell is taking so long. I think are they really gonna to let this go up until I don't know next week when free agency starts or 2 weeks from now?
I think that if I do think that now Dallas might have come around and they realize how valuable he was. I think this season and seeing how just I mean seeing he had a red hot start to the season. The first 4 games that he played in, I mean, the dude was putting up ungodly numbers. I mean, he had um, you know, several I mean, it was I mean, okay, yeah, here we go.
Oh,
He
thank you.
had
Okay, it took you a second to pull up the stats.
Yeah, he had in 4 starts because he got hurt really early in his 5th start. So in 4 starts, he had 1,856 yards. Okay, with 9 touchdowns, 4 picks, um, and he had 2 rushing touchdowns in 4 games. I mean, he was off to like okay, and that was coming off of last year, which is a pretty significant year where he had a career best in touchdown passes too with 30 and he almost threw for 5,000 yards the season before. I think it's taken like the last I would say 20 games that he's played. That's when he really emerged as like okay, he can be the guy. He was playing on the tag. He wasn't playing on the tag in 2019. He's playing on the tag this year. I
This
think this is
past year, yeah.
his first year on the tag.
Mhm.
I think Dallas was like, hey, we really need to get one more season to see what we got. I think they found it. I think he's going to get a deal, but I don't think that deal is going to happen until probably like July. I think it's going to be throughout the whole off season. He's going to actually get a new deal with Dallas. I don't think they're going to be really quick to jump on resigning him. I think they want to see how long he recovers from his injury. I mean, his foot came off
He'll
in
be
the last
fine.
game that he played.
He'll be fine. Here's what I'll say: if I'm the Cowboys, I mean, I'm looking at the division, and I'm thinking to myself, if we locked up even just a capable quarterback, and Jack is definitely that. Even if you have to overpay for him, fine. He's with your team. He's been there for years. He knows the system, all that stuff. I mean, Washington's a joke. The Eagles are a joke. The Giants are might be getting there, but let's be real. Like there's no one from that division that's really worth anything today. So if I'm the Cowboys, sign Dak, you have him. Make sure he's healthy, but he'll be fine. Get a couple extra pieces, and you could take the division for the next 3 years easy. That's three playoff runs. I mean, how do you not? I mean, am I off base there? I mean,
I think
seriously,
they're
I know the Washington team. They're good. They're good. They're young. They've got a good defense, but they don't have a quarterback. I mean, they're parting with Alex Smith right now, who wasn't stellar anyway. But I don't see. I mean, the division's wide open, and with a team that doesn't need a ton of things, they probably need a little bit to shore up the defense a little bit better. But they've got tons of wide receivers, great run game. Their offensive line's okay, and they have Dak. Just fix your defense, and you could win the division in the next 3 years.
it all comes down to how much and for how long Dak is like firmly asking for without negotiation. Because I do think that the Dallas Cowboys do have a two year, maybe 3 year window to like, okay, this is our division. We're taking it to the house. Dak's our guy, and he'll do it with Zeke and all that. Like they do have that possibility. But if Dak's looking for like a big money long term deal to be like one of the highest paid quarterback, like I don't know. I don't know if I'm there yet either with that. And I do think that particularly with the Washington football team, they're one quarterback away from that's they have the division now with Riverboat and Ron Rivera. I mean, that guy, like
Oh
he's a
gosh.
great coach. They have a fantastic defense. They without a quarterback, being in quarterback quagmire, they made the playoffs last year. They were what 8-8 or 7-8-1 or something like that, and they didn't even have a quarterback. So you give them a good quarterback, which they might get this draft. They might sign somebody who's available. They're going to be a tough team, and they actually could own this division. And if they find their right guy at quarterback, they actually could be set up to be the division leaders from here on out. So if you're Dallas and you're not in love with Dak, but you kind of want him for a year or two, maybe you just franchise him still, and you play with him, and you win now, and then you set yourself up to maybe be in a better financial position a little bit later. I don't know.
If I'm Dak and you franchise me again, I'm not playing. Sorry, I'm a quarterback. I'll be able to play for another 10 years. I'm not a running back situation like Le'Veon Bell was. I'm not playing. Straight up, the dude deserves a good. The dude is the heart of the team. He is the leader of the team. He played great 2 seasons ago. Was playing great last year. There's no reason for that. If they franchise tag him again, not only would I not play, I'm not even talking to you anymore. I'll go play for Washington. Thank you very much. I mean, you kidding me? That's ridiculous. What are you saying right there? Franchise him again.
I'm not saying it. I'm not saying that there wouldn't be negative impacts to it, but if I was the Dallas Cowboys, I would try to get like some big money short term, whatever with that. I would invest. I don't know if I'd invest with him long term. If he's looking for a 5 year deal, I don't know if I want him for 5 years.
5 years is nothing. They just signed Mahomes to 10. You're saying Dak isn't even
I'm saying
half
he's
as
not.
good.
I'm saying he's not
You're
Mahomes.
saying he's not even half as good as Mahomes. Not even 50% of Mahomes.
He's not nearly as proven as Mahomes.
That's
No,
not what I'm asking. Would you say Dak is half as good as Mahomes?
but half as good. Yeah.
Then he should get a 5 year deal.
Why? Because it's half of 10. Like I mean, like
Yes,
Dak's
it's exactly
older.
right.
Dak is
Simple
older
math. Let's
though.
keep things simple.
Dak is older,
By a
and
year or two.
but Mahomes, since he's
The
been a
Titan
star.
hold on a second, Scotty. The Titans just signed Tannehill to a 4 year deal. That dude's already 31. What are you kidding?
But 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 Dak is
But
not gonna.
what?
Dak is not going to ask for Tannehill's money for 4 years. He's
You
going to
don't,
ask
you don't even know how much Tannehill got paid. You don't even know how much he got paid. How much do you think Tannehill's getting? This is great radio. I know. Just go.
20 million a year. How much
That's
was
a
it,
lot of
Kev? Do you
money.
know?
That's a lot of money. I know that Brady was getting 25 a year. All right, this is good shit. This is good stuff. This is good. Wait, okay, I got a
Kev,
top three
what
for you,
would you?
Scotty.
What would you? Tell me. You tell me. How much money is Dak Prescott worth? How much money would you give him per year?
I would give him 20 million a year, easy.
For how long? For 10 years?
For
For
five,
five?
for at least 5 years. Yes.
5 years. $100 million. He wants more than that. I think that is a fair deal. I think he's asking for more than that. I think that's the problem.
I don't
He
necessarily
wants he
disagree
wants
with him.
30 a year. You know,
He's not gonna get 30. Nobody gets 30 a year.
Matt Ryan did.
Oh yeah, he did. Wow.
Dak. I'm telling you, at least based on the reporting, Dak thinks he's in the top tier of quarterbacks. He deserves to be paid as a top tier quarterback, and I don't think the Dallas Cowboys are there yet, thinking that he's a top tier quarterback, and I would agree with that.
I think he is a top tier quarterback. There you go. That's where this conversation
So,
ends.
so Tannehill actually signed a 4-year, $118 million contract. So 4 years,
Okay.
118.
How much of that was signing bonus? Do you know?
Oh no, we can't do this. We can't do this. Okay,
I
okay,
think 20
Scotty.
million. 20 million.
20 million. Hey, that's a pretty good signing bonus. Yeah.
So,
All right, Scotty, you got
if
a
you're
top
looking
three.
at that, you wanna pay Dak like probably well over that, right? Because if you think Dak's better than Tannehill, so you're looking.
Which I do.
It's pretty penny, you know.
Pretty penny.
Pretty penny.
I haven't
Okay.
met a lot of pennies. So I got a top three for you, Scott.
All right.
That last piece about that was a mess. Can we agree with that?
I don't think we're on the same page. That's
Okay.
for sure.
Top.
I think we need more
Okay.
stats. We need more facts there.
Yeah, we need to maybe not come completely unprepared,
Completely.
but I kind
Yeah,
of like
yeah.
it that way. That's
It's fun.
kind of our brand. Completely
Is that the
unprepared.
one that you
I just
wouldn't
really
give me
like
an
how
advance notice
Scott
on?
grilled you right back on it, and you just skirted the question altogether by saying somebody else makes more. It's like,
Wait, what do you mean? What do you mean? I didn't skirt anything.
yeah,
Oh,
he
you
asked
skirted
if you
a very
knew
direct
how
question.
much,
Do you know how
and-
much? And you're like, "Ugh."
and you were like,
Well, I didn't say that I
you're
did.
like, Brady makes. It's like, who
He does. He
cares?
makes 25 million a year. Oh my gosh! I'm looking at these salaries now. This is ridiculous. Quarterbacks are paid way too much.
Too much?
I'm kidding. It was a joke. Gosh, we're not on the same page.
I don't know
Gosh,
what you're
Matt
looking at.
Ryan is getting $30 million a year.
I know the guy. And the
You got to
Falcons.
give Dak 30. You give him 35.
No,
You
no, no,
pay him
no,
as much as
no.
Russell Wilson.
Here's the thing.
Dak Prescott is a
No.
young Russ. Hold on. Dak Prescott is a young Russell Wilson. Give him whatever per year that Russell Wilson's making.
Kevin, I think
Done.
you are taking the approach as you are Dak's agent, and you're saying, look at all these players and what they're worth, and clearly Dak is worth all these things. I'm taking the approach of I'm the team, and I'm saying, oh, look how dumb the Falcons look now with this stupid deal they have with Matt Ryan. They can't get rid of him. They're paying him tons of money. He's counts a whole bunch towards the cap, and he's not the guy anymore. He's over.
I
They
don't
wanna
think
be-
that. I don't
oh,
think that was a bad deal. I don't think Matt Ryan's deal is a bad deal.
oh, it's a horrible deal. Are you kidding me?
No. Matt Ryan is a good quarterback. He's an
He
MVP.
was.
Are you
He
kidding
was.
me?
He was. He was all those things.
Scotty, stop it.
So you think the Falcons are going to make the playoffs the next 2 years with Matt Ryan? If they just retool some things? No.
The
Hell no.
Falcons haven't had a good head coach in a decade. That's
yeah.
why they haven't won. Yeah, I mean they made the Super Bowl, Scotty. They were in a Super Bowl. They had a Super Bowl won. It was an act of God, a miracle for all the Patriots nation out there. That's the only reason Matt Ryan is not only an MVP but also a Super Bowl champion. So talk to me about Matt Ryan, Scotty. That was
So the
only like
coaching
3
fell
years
apart.
ago. They don't have a coach. Their coach is terrible. They fired their coach. They've been
A
through a
lot.
couple coches.
They haven't been through a couple. They just fired their coach just last year.
Yeah, but Scotty.
He was the same coach. What do you mean a couple coaches? He's been. They had the core. They had the core. They had the people. They had
Coordinators. Shanahan.
Oh my
They should have
gosh.
kept Shanahan. They should
They
have
should have
hired
kept.
Shanahan.
They
That's what they
should
should have
have
done.
hired Shane. That's exact. All I'm saying is the Atlanta Falcons right now with a new head coach, okay, are in a terrible situation because they have Matt Ryan, who is in the twilight of his career. He's not going to be the guy that's going to take you to the playoffs anymore. Okay,
No, you
in a
don't know
t-
that.
I do know that
You don't know that.
Matt Ryan will not make the playoffs with the Atlanta Falcons ever again.
I don't know. Look at the division. They could easily slip into a wild card, especially with
No,
7 teams.
I'm calling it right now. Okay, the
You're
division with
calling it now?
I'm calling it now. Matt
Matt
Ryan
Ryan will never make the playoffs again. You're
for the
saying that right
Falcons.
now.
For the Falcons. For the Falcons. He'll never make the playoffs again. For the Falcons. Okay.
Okay.
He's taken
I'll
a
take
he's
that
t-
bet.
and he has a 30 million. I mean, he's who knows what his actual cap hit is, but he's making he's untradeable. You can't get rid of the guy. Okay, and you also know that he's not the guy of the future. So you're in a terrible situation, and that is the same exact situation that the Cowboys don't want to be in with Dak Prescott. They don't want to sign this guy to a big money deal and be stuck with him when he's not good anymore. They don't want that. I mean, Dak Prescott, look, highest paid quarterbacks right now. Average. Dak made as much money as Matt Ryan did last year under the tag. You want to be stuck with that for 5, 6, 7 years at the same dollar amount? I don't know. I wouldn't do it.
I have a top 3 for you.
What's your top three?
Give me your top 3 best basketball cities.
Cities. In no particular order. I gotta say Chicago. The Bulls back then, it was a big deal. I'm gonna go with Atlanta. I feel like Atlanta was like I don't know. I feel like maybe a lot of really good whatever.
You said what you said.
Chicago, Atlanta, New York City.
The Knicks.
That's number one. New York City's number one.
Fair enough.
All right, top three for you. The best English accents from a foreign country.
Excuse me?
The coolest English accents from foreign countries. So someone comes
English?
from another. Yeah, so someone comes from another country, speaks English. What are the coolest sounding ones?
Okay. Australian is third. I don't even know how to answer this question. Australia's third. Oh, Canada's number 2 and Scotland's number 1. Ugh, I should have said America. What's wrong with me? All right. Peace out. This was a mess. This fell apart quite quickly.
You know what happened? We got really ruthlessly obsessed here.
We
That's the problem.
All right. So if you've
Whoa.
listened this far, you must, for some reason, like what you've heard. So, given that, please remember to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at ObsessionCast for all future episode updates and whatever else we might post, sports related or otherwise. Thanks for watching.